Hello and welcome, everyone. You are listening to The Crack. This is the podcast where I ask you, what's the crack? Maybe change that intro. Maybe I will. Yeah, what's going on, guys? How are you getting on? I'm just looking out the window here from the spare room in the flat at this fog that we've had all day. Proper Victorian type London fog. Like something from Sherlock Holmes or one of those types of ye old stories. You know, pea soup. I don't know why they call it that, but pea soup fog. Very foggy. All day. Only in this area, though. Sort of like that Stephen King story, The Mist. Not The Fog. Not John Carpenter's The Fog, or... I thought I had the book on my bookshelf there. There's a horror novel called The Fog, which isn't what the horror film The Fog's based on, but they both concern a fog. And then there's The Mist. Neither of them are concerned with this fog. So yes, very foggy here today. Hope wherever you are, it's been clear and nice and warmer, because this has been a very cold fog. I actually went to the shop on my lunch break and I was shivering. Which you wouldn't expect for the first week of January, no way. But no, I was very, very cold. Which was apparently because of this wet air surrounding us. So that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at the window and, like, no exaggeration, it's just the glow of the streetlight. And I can see the reflection of the streetlight in what I know to be car windows. But it is that foggy. It's just the sort of light coming through I can see. So what I was saying was, yeah, I hope wherever you are, the weather's been nice, cozy, warm. I hope you're inside. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're driving your car. Maybe you're on the train, in the gym, on an airplane, riding a bicycle. Very dangerous. Don't listen to things when you ride bicycles. You know. You ever see these videos on like Instagram or that? Of not only people filming themselves as they drive, but they're driving with like headphones in. Earbuds. Don't do that. So what's been going on this week? What happened since last week? I don't know what I spoke to you last time about. Not a terrific amount. Back at work. Health has improved. Cold seems to be gone. I've got a nice cup of tea here. Chamomile, because it's getting close to my bedtime. It's almost 9 o'clock here, guys. And I do like a chamomile to wind down. So, I'm trying to think of what's been going on. I should really write lists down. No emails, no listener mail to bounce off. So I am purely going to try to remember what has been going on. So Charlotte was away last night and I had the flat to myself. So naturally, of course I did, I got a Chinese for my dinner, as I tend to do, even when she is here. But no, when she's gone, I can definitely get one. And there are many Chinese takeaways around me, and I know the one I like, and the one that I do like. I was telling folk at work about it, and I'd been recommended getting a munchie box from there, which I've never ever had before. Despite all my Chineses I've ever had, I've never had one of these. And if you're unfamiliar with them, it's essentially a pizza box. Like, it actually was a pizza box, so you'll have the photograph of the pizza on it. So it's about 14 inches wide, and it's just full of fried junk food. Yeah, so because Charlotte was away, I decided to treat myself, and this one had been recommended to me by a co-worker. I've mentioned that, so that's why I was buying it, because I've been told how good it was. Like, he really was excited about this. Okay, cool. Let's order this then. It's not what I would usually order. What I would usually order is just sort of a meal with rice, or I'm sure you know how Chinese takeaway works. You know, I just usually get a dish with a wee side, and that would do me. But no, I thought, treat yourself, boy. So, £25 for a 14-inch pizza box. It's probably for like 5 people, but I'm up for a challenge. And ordered it, went and got it, collected it to go home. 2 cans of Iron Brew with it, very nice. Opened it. Thing was full of salt and chili chips, like covered in them, which is very tasty. Underneath those there were spring rolls, there were chicken balls in batter, not chicken testicles, just balls of chicken meat, clicker meat, balled up and battered. There were chicken kebab type things, not like strips of kebab meat, but chicken on skewers, and pork spare ribs, and there was a big thing of rice and noodles and salt and pepper chicken, sort of coiled up. Like, there's so much. And don't forget there were sauces with it, curry sauce and satay sauce and sweet and sour sauce. Just far too much. And guys, I didn't even get halfway through. I didn't even get a quarter of the way through. I completely wasted £25 because it wasn't the type of food that goes cold nicely. Everything's deep fried. It wasn't a chuck it in the fridge and take it to work cold type Chinese takeaway. It was yeah, definitely for a party of folk. But myself last night, party of one. Bought myself a munchie box. First time ever, didn't enjoy it. Lesson learned. So I would not recommend a munchie box, guys, unless you're very greedy, in which case you'd probably love it. But far too much food went cold very quickly, and that's my regret, because it was very expensive. £25 for one meal for myself. Yeah, not good. Then Dad inside, I went and collected it. I went and got it myself. So that was that. And that was my evening. Fast food regret. Yeah. I had a nice early night though. You know, I'm meant to be in my sort of party years, youth, 20s. I was in bed by 20 to 9 with a cup of tea, and I had a scented candle on and was reading my book. I finished the book. The book was lovely. It's got In a Lonely Place. It's a noir mystery. Well, it's not a mystery because the killer is revealed right to the start, but he befriends a policeman and sneaks about. It's very good. Yeah, nice night. But then I couldn't get to sleep. Now, to make matters worse, I've got this new alarm clock because I'm trying this thing where I keep my mobile phone away from my bed. So every now and again I look at the clock again. It was always, naturally, later. But my alarm clock was set for 5:40. And guys, the last time I looked at the clock before saying, okay, no more, it was after 3. So I went to bed at 20 to 9, and then I was still awake at 3 o'clock. I just could not switch off. I don't know if, as romantic as it sounds, because Charlotte wasn't there, or if maybe all the greasy food I'd eaten had sparked my energy levels. But no, I mean, I try to be careful with caffeine because I used to wonder, why can't I sleep? And then, I was drinking like 2 litres of iron brew right before bed. So, did you hear that? I'll try and focus that later. It's like, I don't know where he lives, but he just walks up and down the road and just screams sometimes. Maybe he's just expressing how we all feel. Well, yeah, so that was my night. I had a lovely night, had a disappointing dinner, read my book, and then the screaming man continues. And then I lay awake till after 3. Then my alarm went off at 20 to 6. So, tired today. Still I got to work on time, but that's fine. Now here's I'm going to complain about something, because I complain a lot. Mainly, I don't know what's happened to Lego. I was at my parents' house, my nieces were there, and they got Lego for Christmas. And it wasn't just like they got a box of bricks to build with. It was, they got Santa and Mrs. Claus Lego things. So, and this isn't like Lego Duplo for kids. This was actual Lego for adults, for everyone else. Like, just strange. It wasn't like you were building an adventure. You were making little sort of ornaments out of Lego, if that makes sense. You built up in layers. Like an onion or an ogre. You built up in layers, and I don't know how to explain it. So you didn't put bricks down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then put 4 on top of a sort of different colour to make a pattern. It was, some of these pieces had little bits stuck to the sides, so you could stick more than one brick to one brick, and you could have different angles and things, and then you sort of built upon that, and then some of them had sort of wee clip things, and you would clip other bits on, and it was all Not the Lego, I remember. But anyway, back in October, see, I don't own my car outright. I do that thing, pay money every month, and you get to essentially rent it. Well, I mean, I'm not going to complain. It's alright. So, I was driving us home, and it was dark because it was night time, and it's winter, as it tends to be, and the headlights, see, I'm very lazy, the headlights come on automatically when it's dark enough. Apart from today in the fog, I had to turn them on myself because I realised, nobody could see where I was coming from. It was that foggy today, guys. It was that proper thick fog. And driving home, I would see a car coming towards us. I'd see the headlights coming towards us, and suddenly I get the urge to swerve. No, I would I go to dip my headlights, and they would already be dipped, and then I would, no, okay, cool, must have done that unconsciously without thinking about it. I would go to put them back onto the high beam again, but they were already back up. What's going on? And I drove along, and I was very confused, because I started to think I was starting to slip. Is my mind starting to crack a little bit here? Why do I not remember dipping my headlights, or putting them back up again? And I watched them. I watched the road, safe driving, but I also watched the headlights of the dashboard. And my car has some sort of sensor thing. When it sees cars coming at night time, it does it itself, but I didn't like that. I like being in charge of my lights. So that's what I'm complaining about. And it got me thinking about a conversation I had at work about, so the world we seem to live in at the moment, everything is subscription. Even what you watch is a subscription. It's not like you should. You pay a TV license and you get to watch whatever you want. However, but say I want to watch The Boys, the superhero program, that's on Amazon. You have to subscribe to that. You don't just buy things anymore. You subscribe. I haven't played them in years, but apparently, computer games have gone the same way. Subscription. You don't just buy a game anymore. You pay, and then a little while later you pay again. Yeah, I know you know how a subscription works. So, I think it's Tesla, the cars. Say, I don't know how true this is, but I thought it was fucking crazy, and I can believe it to be true. Say you went and bought a Tesla, and you bought it with all the fancy stuff. Okay. You bought all the fancy heated seats and the heated steering wheel, and maybe you've got a headlight system that dips and brightens on its own. I think some of them have got sort of fireplace display. So weird, isn't it? The Jetsons. Okay, so you bought a Tesla, and you bought everything that goes with it. That's fine. But that's your name attached to it. And they have the receipt of you having all that stuff. That's all fine. You can do what you want. You subscribe. You've done it. And then supposing you sell it to me, and I haven't paid for that. Now, I don't, again, like I said, I don't know how true this is, but apparently Tesla know if you've done that. And when it goes from you, with all the fancy extras and all the incredible gadgets and James Bond type stuff, ejector seats, and then you give it to me, and I pay you, not Tesla, I pay you for it. Tesla know this, and they can remotely disable these things. So you could come to drop it off to me, and you could have fancy massaging chairs and, robot maid mixing you a drink as you drive. You give it to me, I log into something else, and all of a sudden, all gone. All the features are gone because I haven't subscribed. You don't buy the car anymore, you subscribe to the service. And maybe, was it BMW as well? I think it was like a heated steering wheel or something like that, or heated seats. You had to pay a monthly subscription to have your heated seats, or else they could remotely disable that. And that just weirds me out, because I know my car's tracked, not by the government or, CIA, man, but Ford know where my car is. I just find that very strange. It never belongs to you. Nothing you buy ever belongs to you. You're just renting it for the next person, just taking care of it, paying for the privilege of having it for that time being. But I suppose I rent this flat. I don't own the flat. But even then, if you buy a house, do you ever really own it? Or, is there always a chance somebody can come take it away? It could be gone. So that's what we got talking about at work, was cars and subscriptions and how that all changes. And I'm trying to think what you buy now that you do own, because films, I don't know if they still make physical media. And I mean, I'm not old, despite how I sound, but I used to buy videos and DVDs, and that was you had that copy, that was your copy. But they've become less and less and less. And now the danger is, and I remember actually seeing this on, I saw it on the internet, when Disney had Disney Plus, which again you subscribe to, when they started Disney Plus, they had Toy Story 2 on there. They probably still do because they own Toy Story. Now, some of the old Pixar films, I know Bug's Life certainly did, Toy Story 2 does, they had bloopers at the end as the credits were going, and it's sort of, it's just a joke, because obviously they're cartoons, but they would show the characters messing up lines, and they gave the impression that it was a film, with a set and a director and all that sort of stuff, script editors and things, supervisors, not editors. Well, they would have had both. But one of the jokes in the Toy Story 2 credits was a scene in the film. Woody is talking to Stinky Pete, and those names make sense if you've seen the film, but Stinky Pete's in a box, and then he turns the box to dramatically reveal that Stinky Pete isn't in there anymore. But in the blooper, they turn it around, and Stinky Pete is talking to two attractive Barbie dolls. And he's sort of rubbing their hands, and he says, I'm sure I can get you a part in Toy Story 3. And that's the blooper, boop. Stinky Pete's a creep. Very funny. Now, when that was on video, which I've probably still got in my parents' attic, that was it printed to the video. And the version that we bought, or we got, I think it was my sister got for Christmas or her birthday, that was it. It was printed, and that was the final version. And then when Disney Plus put Toy Story 2 on, the guy in charge of Pixar, or one of the heads up, he'd been, Me Too'd or whatever, one of those things. He'd been outed as a bit of a creep, maybe a pervert. So when they showed the Toy Story 2 credits on Disney Plus, they'd actually edited that out. So that was it gone. They changed the media. Which isn't a big deal, but at the same time, yes it is. They had censored that, they changed it, they'd gone back and revised it. What else are they doing that with? When I say they, like it's some sort of big conspiracy, but yeah. I think you should buy physical media, because these, don't know what my point here is, guys. These things, they change and they can be gone. And say, so Harry Potter's a massive beloved thing, and there's obviously DVDs of all the old films, and I'll say of all the films. Imagine they made the new one, but they didn't put it on DVD. It was on streaming services, and folk loved it, and it was all there. And then they deleted it, and it was gone. Other than people illegally downloading it and saving it, there's no physical media. It doesn't exist. Once the owner says it's gone, that would it be gone, and then they can keep revising it and changing it. And I think, what's the guy that did the Batman, Superman films and did 300 and Watchmen? Zack Snyder? So he made Justice League, and then he released a different cut on streaming. Is that going to be the future of films? Are you going to pay to see a film in the cinema? Say you pay £5 or £10, however much your cinema is, and you go and see Jaws. Okay, so let's say they remake Jaws. You pay, you go to the cinema, you see it, and then it comes out on streaming, and suddenly you've got Jaws Plus, the better version. Pay £5, you can see this version. Some folk would pay it, and then you get Jaws Plus Plus, the definitive edition. Pay again. Where does it stop? Would they ever stop revising it? And then you could argue that, I'm arguing with myself here, George Lucas did that with Star Wars. He didn't think it was finished. He wasn't happy with where special effects were back in the late 70s, early 80s. So in the mid to late 90s, he revised, he touched up some, Jesus, bad choice of words. He edited some of the films. And let's say you get some questionable special effects in some of them. But the physical copies of the original are still out there, so if you want to, you can source and you can see the original cut because there's physical media. And that's going away. If they don't put things actually printed, they can change it. What's my point? I don't have a point. I'm very tired. I'm just rambling on about bullshit. But no, that's my thoughts. You know, it's I don't know. I remember I was very lucky. I used to work with a lady, and she'd been gifted a Kindle, and she didn't like it. So she asked me if I like to read, and I don't. Yeah, I love books. She said, "Would you like it?" And I thought she meant would I like to buy it? But no, she just very kindly. She was never going to use it, so she gave it to me, and I've never used it. I don't know. I don't like. I used it once. I used it for maybe a page or two, and I didn't enjoy reading the little screen. I liked having the physical book in my hands. I don't know if it's one of these things, but you feel it get thinner as you get closer to the end, or you can smell the pages. I don't sniff books. I didn't like the digital book. Maybe that'll change. This generation's become more and more and more and more techie. But I didn't like the digital book. So that is where we are this week, guys. Physical media, good. Don't leave it just digital. Don't leave it to be edited and censored and changed. Print it. Make it real. Make it live. And if I ever write a book, I'm going to make sure it's physical. But yeah, sell it digital. People want to download it and pay for it, make it digital, but put it in print. And I think films should still be released on DVD and Blu-ray. And well, now you go to HMV and there's like Ultra 4K. I don't know what that is. I've got a nice box that plays Blu-ray, so I'll buy a Blu-ray every now and again. But it's been about a year since I bought a Blu-ray. For my birthday last year, I bought myself Clint Eastwood collection, 3 Clint Eastwood films and the 1 Blu-ray thing. So, I'm a hypocrite. I don't buy it anymore, but I still think you should have the option. And that's all part of it. I'm just looking around my desk here. I've got all these scraps of paper, so hopefully after next week I will have stories to tell you, as myself and Charlotte are going away for a few nights, and we're going abroad. Not somewhere sunny and tropical with, a beach and colourful drinks and things like that. No, we're going to fly down to London, as long as there's not a fucking fog like this. And sorry, I was looking at the window again. Yep, still foggy. And when we're in London, we're going to go and get a train, and that train is going to take us under the English Channel. So we're going to get a train off the island. That's wild. And we're going to go to a little place, hopefully, if like weather permitting, called Bruges. So fingers crossed, all goes to plan. I need to go and get euros, actually. Fuck. And I'll hopefully have some stories about Bruges, because if you haven't seen the film In Bruges, I recommend watching that. It's on DVD, it's all in the physical media. And I'll let you know how that goes. And I'm going to make sure that the next podcast I do when I'm not shattered, because I am going to have to edit out so many yawns from this one, and I hope the energy hasn't come across as tired. Hopefully, if it does come across as tired, it comes across as relaxed and chill. Because I'm not cranking it up to 11. Let's just take it easy. Snuggly. Maybe you're listening to this. Cozy. You got some nice comfy pajamas on. Lights are turned down. Low. Staying snuggle. Alright, I'm going to call it there for this week, guys. And like I said, hopefully after next week, if everything goes to plan, we get to go to Bruges. And I'll let you know how that goes. Yes, and that's going to be our holiday for this year, because of how Charlotte's work hours work and my rota. We're not going, there's no summer holidays or anything exotic. It's just the sort of city break, and I've never been before, so it should be lovely. I've seen the photographs, I've seen it in films. It looks like a fairy tale. But if you're going away anywhere, if you're planning away, write in, let me know. I'll read it out. Recommendations, places you wouldn't recommend. Maybe you went somewhere and it was horrible. Maybe you went to Paris and it was just the most abysmal, terrible place. And then maybe you went somewhere that wasn't meant to be nice and you had a great time. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to share it with everyone else. We'll get it read out. I'm trying to think if I've ever had an experience like that. No, but I've never heard a good thing about Egypt. Everyone I know that's visited Egypt had a bad time. So if you've been to Egypt, let me know. How was it? What's the verdict on visiting there? I'd love to go and see the pyramids. Or would I? I mean, I would. I'd love to go and see them. But, right guys, I'm going to call it there. I'm going to get this edited and uploaded, and I'm going to get to bed. Because it's late. It's after 9. I'm getting old. So, yeah, all the links and everything, get in touch. That's all on the website, thecrackpodcast.co.uk. I am very gradually getting to grips with editing it. It's not a massive team here. There's just me, myself, and I. We're the team behind the website. So, when I work out how to fix it, I'll get it fixed. But I'm trying to get the website looking good. There's nothing on there at the moment, just text. It's very bland. It's very bleak. It's like a car park in a fog. Right, yeah, and I'm going to try and do a lot of film write-ups. Not film scripts, just if I watch a film, I'll do a little write-up of my thoughts of it and put it on the website, and maybe that'll bring in some website traffic. But I'll leave you with that, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for returning. What was I asked? Yes, if you've been anywhere nice, any city visits, just holidays in general, where did you go? Where did you like? What didn't you like? Where didn't you like? How did you get there as well? You know, I'm taking a train that goes under, I'm assuming under the seabed, not a glass tunnel. Methods of transport. But right, guys, so the Crack Podcast will go to UK, all one word. There's a get in touch section there. Please do feel free to write in with your holidays and travel and how you get around, and I'd love to read that out. Okay. Or if you don't think media needs to be physical, fuck it. Let me know as well. I'll read it out. So, as always, guys, be good to each other. Be good to yourself. Take care of yourself. Don't take any shit. Alright? Just be good. And, with every episode, big thanks to Blackwell for the theme and Cora for the logo. I will speak to you next time, guys. Alright, bye for now.